Hello, I'm Craig.
And I'm Debbie. Nat here. Hello,
Okay.
everybody. This is the Young Living Share class, March 21st, 2023. I'm here with Bonnie, and we were going to discuss some of the diamonds and what they've had to share with us. So, welcome, Bonnie. And what was your perception of, or what you get out of Debra Rayburn's chat?
Well, I like the fact that she is not into like cold calling or whatever. She has set up, it just amazed me because she was telling how people can get names. I mean, she's called like different chamber of commerces and gotten into doing, she did classes at her house on how to make bread, how to cook over a fire. I mean, how to crochet. And that's how she got all of her names. And then she was still doing all these classes up until 2014. She started Young Living in 2000 and decided to work as a business in 2004 or 2005 and still taught all of these classes. She said, everybody has a gift. You can tell people. She said, because she's from Texas, she was talking to somebody in Minnesota. She said, if I moved up to Minnesota, how would I get ice off of my car? I know how to do it, scrape it a little bit with a credit card when we have it in Texas. But I mean, she said, everybody has a gift and everybody can tell people. You may not think that you're an expert at it, but you probably know more than what the people you are teaching.
Exactly.
So how to get names that way, I thought was amazing. And she said, just make a list of things that you love to do and you can gently incorporate Young Living. You're not really selling. You can just gently incorporate it.
Isn't that like what we were talking about with our niche, our passion? And I'm like, when I was listening to that, I'm laughing going, oh my gosh, is that so true? Because we were just discussing, how do you put your oils with your niche? Well, there you go.
I know. And I said it was amazing because she said, you're not really selling anything. You're just showing them. And if they're interested, you can show them how to get it.
Exactly.
But she said, you're not really going to these classes. And she said, you can go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby because they're always looking for people to teach classes there. And she said, you can teach a class and bring your oils. Always have a diffuser going, but teach a class. And sometimes if you're doing she was talking about a jewelry class or crochet or whatever, how your hands get dry, just have a little bit of the Young Living lotion.
Yes.
And rub it in your hands and then just continue the class and never say, you can buy this from me or whatever. She never pushed the sale, which I really like.
Yeah, and it's so down to earth. I mean, even when I've talked to other people, they're like, how do I share? I'm like, it's usually you share from your heart and you just live your life and you share. So, I mean, that was the most beautiful representation I ever, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So, as it was so funny, because I was thinking about that and processing, and I'm like, well, I'm a hairdresser. The shampoos they have, I can talk about that too. And then I've always talked about with massage because that's how I got introduced through massage therapy, the Young Living. I mean, I started introducing it to people when I was oiling them, working on them. And then I started like putting the vitality oils into my food, and that seemed to be the simplest thing for me. Because I'm like, I'm just cooking. I was like, no big deal. I'm throwing this stuff in. So then I did that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how cool is that? And I'm going,
Yeah.
And I'm like, people think it's so hard.
Well, that's because we make it hard.
Exactly.
That's just it. We make it harder. Our brain is working overtime. We make it harder than it is because, like you said, you're just sharing what you do.
Right.
It's not a big deal. And that's what she was talking. You're just sharing what you're doing. And it amazed me because she was talking about how they did like the bread making classes and cooking outdoors. They would have 40 people And she said that's how much their living room or their backyard or whatever could hold. But she said we had people book, this class was booked, and it was like on a Friday night and then 2 classes on a Saturday, 6 months out. You know, people were signing up for this class and they charged $20 a head to learn, and then they got to take the bread home or whatever. But it's like, oh my gosh, how amazing is that? How that she said it was just booked out that far. People wanted to come. She said, if you offer something, people will come. And that's how they get to know you. And we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Let them know who you are and what you do.
Exactly.
So
that was, yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I loved how you expressed it, because I was listening to that going, and I'm like, did I actually hear that right? I'm like, holy cow.
I know.
She didn't do any.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and she didn't do any Q&As at the end, but it was amazing how I loved how she said your hot market is your close friends and family members who would just jump right on because they know you so well. And then
Right.
the other people are the warm market, your family and friends, are your acquaintances of people that you've known for over the years that you can write a letter to. And then the cold market is the people that you want to just start creating content with. And I thought, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
And she said, I'm not one to stand in the mall and just talk to people. And she said, and I don't stand in line behind somebody at a grocery store and start up a conversation. She said, I'll be happy to engage in the conversation if they start with me.
Right.
You know, if they start talking with me. But she said, I'm not going to go up and interfere or whatever with people.
Right.
And I said, yeah. And I'm thinking, you know, she said, I just went to different places and asked if I could show how to do it and have people in my home. And when she first got on, she said she didn't know how to do like the Facebook Live because she's never done one. She's a Royal Crown Diamond, never done a Facebook Live until then. I said, that is amazing.
There's a lot of people who don't even teach. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, they just out there just doing other stuff, and they just, so you can build things from however your comfort zone is.
Right. Right.
So it does blow my mind.
Well, and it reminded me, if she started in 2000, I don't know when she became a Royal Crown Diamond, but if she started in 2005 and in 2014, which is 9 years, she stopped doing her classes.
Yeah.
Where she taught bread making or crocheting or whatever.
Right.
I remember Danette Goodyear saying, if you rose a rank every year in 9 years, you'd be a Royal Crown Diamond. So I'm thinking that's probably what she did.
Right. And she did it slow and steady wins the race, isn't it?
That's right. Be that little tortoise and just keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been interesting how they've all melded. Like they all have a different concept, but they all have a similarity of they just did life.
Right. Yeah. And they did what they were excited about.
Yes.
You know, when Young Living just happened to be in it. And she said she had made soaps and things too with different essential oils, but she said never Young Living until she got into Young Living. She said the quality was so much better. And she said people need to know the quality. Don't go out and think that you can teach a class just on essential oils. She said because people know all about essential oils. But she said the quality of Young Living you could teach on.
Yeah, because of the seed to seal.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's one thing that really got me too, because when I started and stuff, I had so many other essential oils and I didn't know the difference either. And then all of a sudden I was like smelling the different Young Living oils, and then I packaged away the other ones that I bought from the health food store and online. And then I came back to them after about a month because I'm like, I need to use these up. And all of a sudden I'm going, Oh my gosh, these stink. What was I thinking? My sensory nerves are going toxic, toxin, toxin. I'm thinking, what? I had no clue. I'm like, wow, my nose really cleaned out after a month of using Young Living. And I'm like, if people just did that, they would see such a difference in their health.
Right.
So it was just crazy.
Your mind is like the robot on Lost in Space. Warning, 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 Will. Yeah, well, and that's just it. People are so used to, well, I can buy a little bottle of or a big bottle of frankincense for like $14. And it's like, what? There's probably like a smidgen of frankincense oil in it.
And you don't even know the quality of that frankincense, too.
Right.
Because it's probably an old batch of something nasty that just... It's crazy because some people will say to me, why is there no expiration date on it? I go, because it's the real deal. If it has an expiration date on it, it's bad. I'm like, you don't want to expire, do you? I mean, real raw oils do not expire, people.
Right. Yeah. And that's just it. And I said, it's not the oil that expires in there. It's all the other junk that they've added in there that is expiring. And I said, it's going to get to be rancid and gross.
Yeah, that's what I was smelling after a while going,
ew. Yeah. And I said, you can take a bottle of Young Living oil and a bottle of whatever other oil you put it in the freezer. I said, Young Livings won't freeze. The other will.
Oh, you've tested out this theory, have you?
Yeah.
Good to share.
It's just the junk that they have, the water, basically, watered down or whatever other stuff is in there, and it freezes, and Young Living doesn't freeze.
Wow, you just shared a testimony that I didn't even know about. Dang, good for you. Right on, I'm high-fiving you, dear. What?
Yeah. So, I mean, and you can tell people to do that. It's kind of neat because they're like, oh, no. And I said, yeah, you put yours in, it'll freeze. And the other one, Young Living won't, because, well, it's nature. The lifeblood of the plant is not going to expire or freeze or whatever. The outside may, but not the lifeblood of the plant.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I mean, you stumped a chump here. You got me because I'm like, what do I say to that? That's awesome. I can tell I have learned something new today.
My mother said you always need to learn something new every day.
And boom, I did. So I thought about that. So as I was listening to that, going, okay, all the different skills I have, I'm going, I've not really gotten out there too much to doing all the different places. And then I got on my hard drive and I saw my easy little PowerPoint presentation, basic oils. And I put that into our Nature's Healing share class, the share group. Okay. And I put that in there and I'm like, this is perfect because this is exactly the thing that we all should just take this special niche of those certain oils that we use with our special hobbies or the special things that we use or do all the time that we enjoy. Whether your hobby is just playing cards all the time, you got to have some type of pan away or something that'll help you out. You know?
Yeah. Well, and if you're a gamer, I mean, just like she was saying, your neck is going to get sore on the computer and leaning over. So, yeah, aches and pains in your back and shoulders.
Yes. So, as I saw that, I thought about that thing that we talked about a month ago or two, where we were going to create our own little video of our own personalized thing. You were doing with the animals. I was going to do with the the raw food, and I chose to take the 4 vitality oils from the Everyday Kit, and I got the videos for those. Now I just need to put together in the PowerPoint and then talk about them and create the educational class to share with those people that I want to talk to about the raw food prepping. So
Yeah. So, and I need to get together with my stuff and figure out oils and stuff for the dogs. I'm finding out a lot of different things with dogs. I mean, just how people are using different tinctures and stuff, natural tinctures, not necessarily Young Livings, with just like the rabies and no vaccinations for their dogs, rabies tinctures, and not, and what the state is requiring, what they can and cannot know. I mean, or what you're allowed to do with your dog and stuff. So I mean, a lot of people are no longer going to vets unless they're holistic vets. They don't want to vaccinate and they don't want to have all these things. And so I'm learning a little bit more about all of that stuff too, which is exciting.
that is exciting. Have you gotten talk to, because I think you were hoping, talk to that lady down in Virginia, but she said were you supposed to be giving her a shout soon?
No, she wants me to contact her when I have learned some more information stuff. She's the one down in is it Virginia? I can't remember where she's from, but yeah. So I still need to contact her though.
Okay. Awesome.
She told me wait, and she would, to kind of research more and then get back with her.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, sounds like you've done some research.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten onto different websites of natural remedies and things for dogs, and it's kind of amazing. Cool. And I didn't realize that peanut butter was not good for dogs, because I've been giving my dogs not necessarily certain brands of peanut butter have xylitol in it, and that's bad for dogs. But they're saying a lot of peanut butters you should not really give them either. So I'm looking more into that, because I used to give my dogs peanut butter all the time.
Yeah, xylitol is actually in toothpaste that you're not supposed to consume either.
Right.
Because I'm like, that name sounds very familiar to me. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't the neatest knowledge of learning about all this stuff and being just wrapped up in your own special happiness of...
Well, it just is eye-opening. True. A lot of things that we just take for granted, like we had talked about before. I mean, we're just so used to different foods and whatever, to find out that one of the largest manufacturer of dog foods is Mars candy bars. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And how everything is. Oh, and I heard on another one, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to take up the time on this, but I mean,
it's okay.
It's like things that companies have bottled, and it says like no preservatives added or whatever, so they can code it as being healthy, but find out that this company is more of it's just a bottling company or a packaging company, and they buy the ingredients that they put in this package already pre-done, and there's already like preservatives or whatever added already in it. They're just not adding more to it, so therefore they can say no preservatives added.
Wow.
How they can get around all of that. So you have to be very careful, because if you look at the ingredients and read them, it's there's preservatives in them.
I love her. She's so beautiful. It is a she, right?
Yes, okay. They're all she's.
She's so beautiful. I love her. Every time she comes up, I'm like, hi. Oh,
she's a good girl.
Yes, she is. Exactly. And I
But
think that's where when you're in your niche, it doesn't feel like you're literally studying and learning. You're literally just enjoying going, wow, there's so much to know about what I enjoy doing that it just doesn't seem like work, does it?
no, it's kind of fun learning all the information and stuff and what you really find out about big time companies.
Yes,
And I'm
exactly.
sure it's the same way with, yeah, I'm sure it's the same way with adult, human food.
Oh man. Oh, no kidding. Yep. And
Yeah,
there's times where I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna move on. I'm not even gonna look or anything like that. Close my eyes and move on. I Craig has become quite the ingredient reader sometimes.
well, good.
If Because there's sometimes he can tell he's feeling better, so he'll watch stuff and look at things, and I'm going good, because we all have to.
Yeah,
If
which
you
is good.
don't, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
There's a day
well,
where we
it,
were in this snacky mode and we're eating bad junk. Well, the next day I paid for it. I had a whole bunch of like, maybe that's where a lot of my behaviorisms came from, because I was just all sorts. I told Craig, enough. I don't need to do this anymore. And I'm like, ooh, I must have
yeah,
chemically induced something nasty in myself, because my I was like those
yeah,
little kids that just could not, behave, which is pretty bad. So I'm liking
right,
this format.
yeah.
I'm liking this format because I'm assuming that you can actually hear me and I'm not hiccupy or any problems like that right now, right?
Well, a little bit of hiccups, but not too bad.
Okay, not as bad as the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was just,
Okay. Just wanted to double check.
yeah,
So the other thing that I wanted to bring out too is with Deborah's, it was interesting hearing about the difference on how when she did her classes, how she gave a brochure after they were done with the classes and telling them all the different tools and the different places they could go to get their tools, and then also included the essential oils and what they used that day. And I thought, well, that was brilliant. That was a way to just like, here it is, but I'm not really telling you. Like, I don't
yeah,
want to tell you to go get this stuff, but if you want to use this and if you felt good during the class, this is what I got and this is what I use. And I thought, well, that was pretty cool too.
right. Well, and she mentioned too that she did expos, so I'm thinking they're
Yeah.
like vendor events that she did. And she had a brochure of classes that she did, not necessarily oil classes, but I mean other classes like her baking classes, her herb classes, how to make tinctures and salves and stuff. So, I mean, it looks like she did a whole lot of things. I mean, she also homeschooled her kids. So it looks like she just learned how to do a lot of that. And as a teacher for homeschooling, she was teaching others too. But I thought that was a brilliant idea because it not necessarily said, this is all I do in Young Living. It's, this is what I do. If you want to connect with me, it besides Young Living. And she said, I got a lot of people coming in, hundreds of people coming in. Not all of them are brand partners. Not all of them do the business full time. But she said, I increased and she said, and I still go back and look through this list and still kind of teach classes or class here and there and get names. But she said, you'll have an abundance of names.
Yeah. You should never have to worry about where you're going to get your next contact, because I know that especially all the different things I like to do, country line dance and different things like that. I mean, there's abundance of people of different sorts of places that you can get to know and talk to further and say, hey, are you open or interested in this stuff? If you're not, no big deal. Just want to let you know I
Yeah.
do this, and if you ever want to know, Here's my information. And I'm
Right.
thinking, that is so cool. So it is always a continuously rotating door. I really like that the most. Where they've all,
Yeah.
we all have to learn, I guess, from that. It's like, don't overwhelm yourself. Take it day by day. If some days you can't only get in 15 minutes of your work, that's okay. You know, just give yourself grace period.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
But I also like the fact that she is telling people, and not just oils. She's not pushing a lot of oils on people. Granted, she uses her oils, but it's not, she's showing them how she uses them in, like you said, her everyday life and what she does with them.
Right.
And how they can be incorporated. So, I mean, people can see that, yeah, you can have oils, but you use them for everything.
Correct. Yeah. And you never know. And it's it's the funniest thing recently, because here I used to think it was a big deal that we talked about Vitality as an ingestible oil. Guess what? Recently I went on the website as I'm doing my little mini training classes and I'm uploading them. I read off several different descriptions of the Vitality oils, and they label out on Young Living that they're the exact same as the regular bottle.
Do they?
Yes. And I sat there going in awe, going, Craig, did you hear this? And he goes, what? And I go, Young Living has their description of this Vitality oil that I'm reading out loud as a video education. And it's saying it's the exact same as the regular one. So I keep thinking, eventually, are we just going to go back to regular oils? Or
no, I don't. I think that we have to keep that just to be compliant with FDA.
Well, and I'm wondering how long that will have to be.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm just saying, some things aren't being as what they used to be. I'm just saying.
I understand. Yeah.
So, as I want to conclude that thought, I would love to spend more time with other different things if you would like to. Would you still like to, I mean, Tuesday seems to be great. I love it. Would you want to get together and just do one video next week and we could just highlight some stuff with it next Tuesday?
Sure.
Okay. We'll do that.
Let me look at my calendar
okay.
first. Hold on.
That sounds like a plan. Look at the calendar first.
So next week, oh, actually, yes, because next week is spring break.
Yeah.
So I'm off that week. Spring break, Christmas break, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm off that week, which will be nice. But I've got some things I want to get going too.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to try to get my house kind of cleaned up a little bit.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, that works for me. Tuesday works.
Okay, so we'll see you next Tuesday evening. I don't even know what the date is. 28th of March, right?
Right.
Supposedly the last day of the month. I mean.
Are you? Really?
I'm just throwing some weird things out at people. Okay. So we're going to conclude with that. We're going to continue on, and we'll, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye.